Yeah, would help if I pressed the mute button, wouldn't it? Can you hear me now? Uh, anyway. I'll wait and see if you hear me now. You missed that there was no sound, Laquita? Anyway, how's everybody doing today, this fine Tuesday morning? Oh, okay. And then let me just make sure I've got it on the best sound. This is a real professional operation here, right? Output USB. How does this sound? Is this good? Better? I'm doing okay. I'm a little tired. I was thinking, I think what it is my blood pressure is low. So I'll probably just stop taking the pills that I used to take the water pills to unpuffy my legs. Oh, good. Okay, good. I put on the fancy microphone, right? So I thought what I would do today is I was going to finish this up, but then I remembered I don't have the magnets handy. And I don't remember where they are, so, but that's okay. I am trying to take it easy, as best it's a weird concept because it's hard to explain, but as I said, I just went to get paper on the other side of the bedroom and I was exhausted. But I had done some other things before that, so that's probably why I was exhausted. So anyway, it's a very tired day, I think. I just didn't sleep well. I did go to the doctor yesterday and they took off the dressing, and so I got to see it, and I won't show you pictures. But they did take x-rays and it all looks good, so that's good. Now I just have to keep doing my physical therapy, and I can see where as time goes by I'll get strength back in the muscles and be able to walk and not be in pain. So that's a good thing, I think. Anyway, so back to card making. Let's see here. So we have our cute little stand here, and what I would do is I would put some magnets under here, then some magnets here somewhere, and then when you open it up, it would just magnetize and stay all together like this. So the other thing, okay, so that would be one thing I would do. And then when you close it like this, and maybe have another magnet here, so that closes there with a magnet, and that closes with a magnet, and this closes. And then you could do this too, and have a magnet that just closes this to this, Or you could just do a belly band. So, but what I thought, being that the way I made this, and seeing as you guys weren't really around when I made it. Oh, thanks, Hadassah. So what I was thinking is I wanted to make a card that's this big rocket ship here. And where's that other paper? There's this lunar paper. There it is. This lunar paper here that I think is super cute. And I wanted to make something similar. So I thought, okay, well, let's do this a little bit more planned out. Yes, it is. And hose, those, what do they call it? Those hoses, compression stockings, that's the word. Okay, because as you know, when I made this, I really didn't plan it out. So I kind of have these wonky corners here. And I was like, let's make this that we don't have wonky corners, and that we can make it any size we want. so that we can create these little scenes for people for really special cards, you know, and use up some of the paper we have too. What's Ted? Anyway, so we have this paper and we have this rocket ship right here, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure the rocket ship, which I can do with this ruler right here. So it's 7 1/4 inches tall about, okay? So that's interesting because I've got an 8 1/2 inch tall piece of paper. So, although it's by 11. So we're going to go by the 11 is I think what we should do, okay? And I'm going to write this out for you so that we can work together to figure out how to make this, okay? Let me see, I gotta get a pen or pencil. Probably a pencil. Maybe I should start napping. I've just never been a napper, but oh, I'm so tired. Okay. So, what we have is we have our rocket ship, which is 7 1/2 inches tall. Well, 7 1/4 actually, sorry. Oh, these are called Voyeur or something, but they're really good. I got them on Amazon, and I got them big enough so they're not so uncomfortable. Okay, so the rocket ship is 7 1/4 inches tall. Okay, so what we want is and this is the base that we're going to go with. Okay, we're going to have a piece here. And this is not going to be very straight lines. And, okay, so if you look at this structure, as it were, we're going to think of this as 3 different pieces, okay? So we have one piece here that's going to be this, and then we've got an inch score line here, okay? And we're going to have 2 of those, and they're going to be exactly the same. And then we have the center piece, which is going to be this was based on a 6x6 card, for example. So this would be the same size as this and this. Although, you know what? It could be any size you want. So let's do, but you want to have it be out. How do you explain that? Okay. So yeah, so we're going to have this and this be the same size. And then this is going to be a size smaller than that. So that when we close it, it'll all close together, and then we'll have a 1 inch on each gusset on each side, and then on this one we're gonna have it all the way down, but here we'll cut it, and you'll see what I mean. Okay, does that make sense at all? Okay, so we're gonna, as I said, we're gonna have this piece here that's gonna be that wide, and then we're gonna have it be like this. And then we're going to cut this part away, okay? This part's going to go away. So then we're going to have a centerpiece. And the centerpiece is going to have, it's going to have a fold here and a fold here so that we have that 1 inch. Okay, and then this is 1 inch. So these parts are all going to be 1 inch, okay? We don't know what the other parts are going to be size-wise, but we know these are all going to be 1 inch, okay? Okay, and then we're going to have this other one over here. Look at me drawing straight lines. 1 inch. And then we'll do this here. Okay. So that's the general design, but we want to make them different. We want to do the sizes different. Now the rocket, as I said, was 7 1/4 inches tall. And then I didn't take the width, but I probably should. The width is about 2 3/4 inches, right? Okay, so we want this part here. It's going to be at least 2 3/4 inches. Okay, so I'm going to shoot for, I want there to be a little bit on either side for sure. It would be nice that we could do at least a 4 1/4 inch, so it's that size card, you know. So let's see here. So it's 2 3/4. So let's 4 1/4. Oh, we've been using grocery bags, like the plastic grocery bags over my foot. It's one of those things that you hate them when you put them on, and you hate them when you take them off, and you hate them when you're not wearing them, and you kind of don't even like them when you're wearing them. But man, then you need them. You know, it's the weirdest combination of things ever. Anyway, back to the math. So we want this to be at least 2 3/4 because we want the rocket ship to fit in it. But I would want to put like at least an inch on either side, so that makes it 4 3/4, which is bigger than our regular card size. So this, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually make it taller and wider than most cards, okay? Because I'd like to have, I think 2 inches on either side would be nice. Let me look. To work with? Yeah. So 2 inches on either side. So that's 6 3/4. So I want it to be 6 3/4 by, and then the height, it's 7 1/4. So I think I want to have it be, you know, let's just do it symmetrical. So we'll go 9 1/4. Okay, so that's what we want this area right here to be. So then with these two pieces, it's going to make it that it's, we got to add on to the sides. So that's going to be 8 3/4. Okay, so, and then we'll score it at 1 inch on either side. Does that make sense? And then, oh, that was the other thing. Then we're going to want to make it 10 1/4 because we want to add this inch. Okay, so we'll start off with that center piece and then I'll go to the other pieces. Okay, which I'll have a piece of paper right here. Yeah, then you take the bag out. It works pretty well. Although the idea of having satin feet on for all day sounds nice. If it's the nice satin. Okay, so here we have our paper. And we want to cut it down. It's 8 1/2 by 11. So on the, oh, so how are we going to do this? So you know what we're going to do? Because we made it 8 3/4, but I'm going to just make it 8 1/2 to make it easier. Does that make sense? We won't have as much space on either side, but that'll be okay. So then we've got 8 1/2 and 10 3 by 10 1/4. And this is 11. So I want to cut 3/4 of an inch off of this piece. And I'll just go over here to do that and make it easier. Okay. Then we will make it, let's see here, we will score it at 1 inch on either side. Let's see here, we got 1 inch here. 1 inch on 3 sides is what you want to score this piece. And we're going to have to flip it and do it because I don't have my big scoreboard handy. I'm just going to have to flip it like this and do an inch this way. I need some light. I forgot to turn my lights on. Okay, there, that's better. Now we can actually see. Okay, so then we need another inch here. And then we need an inch this way. So does that make sense? So we've got, now we have, now we're making a way bigger one, right? Well, you know, space is a big place. Okay. Now this is where, okay, so we want to keep this, now what we're going to do to avoid the problem we had last time with the bottom is we're going to cut here. And cut there. And then I'm going to do, you know, the whole notchy thing. Cut a little notch. And then it'll wear better. It'll fit better into the space. But that's going to be a lot cleaner cut look. And the idea is that you can adjust this to whatever size sticker or ephemera or stamped piece or whatever that you have. And I'm going to tuck this underneath like so with my glue and attach it with my glue. And I didn't tuck it underneath, I put it on top. So I'm just going to put it on top now, I guess. That's okay, at least I own it, right? Sorry, I'm off camera. No, I'm sorry. Okay. Now we're cooking with gas. So there's the beginning of our card, our box card. We'll call this a box card because that's what it is. I like, you know what I think would be a cool name for it would be like the wardrobe card. Because it's kind of like a wardrobe. Sorry, I had to get that back in there. Okay, so that's the start of it. So next, the next thing we want to do is we're going to create something here that will be big enough. We don't have to have it be this whole height, you know. We could. That's also, you know, but I'd err on the side of going smaller for this centerpiece. So what I would do is I would do a little less than 1 inch, not a whole 1 inch, because this is 1 inch. And if you put a whole inch, it's going to go over a little bit, and we don't want to do that. We want to do it a little bit less than 1 inch, and then we want to line up the score line on this line. I'm going to do this real quick because I don't think I need to actually. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. So for that, we need, it would be, let's go back to our directions. It's this piece right here. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is to not go too far. I'm going to do 6 inches. Okay, but that's enough that I think it'll stand it up. It has to be enough that it supports it. You know what I mean? So let's go 7 inches because we're going to do 6 and then add an inch by 8.5 inches again and do an inch on either side. Okay, so what did I say? 7 inches. So we'll get our next piece of paper and we'll cut 4 inches off. Okay. Oh, I did that wrong, didn't I? Or maybe, no, I didn't. You know that feeling. Okay, so now this piece should be, let's see here, 7 by 8.5. Yes. Okay. So then we're going to take this and we're going to score it at 1 inch. Oh, wait a minute. You know what though? We don't want to have the inch on either side. I totally forgot about that. So we're just going to cut 1 inch off of either side. Okay, sorry about that. Or I guess we cut 2 inches off. Oh, well, that's me for you. If you had a pattern paper, you'd want to do it either side to do it evenly. But I could have just cut 2 inches. Sorry. Then I'm going to take this and I'm going to score it at 1 inch. Let's see, I want to take the 7-inch side, which is this side, and I'm going to score it at 1 inch. Oh, wait. Yeah, that's 6 inches. And hopefully, yes, I was like, hopefully that will just line up with this, and it does. So then, and as I said, I wanted to do it a little less than 6 inches, or a little less than 1 inch. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to cut a sliver off the end here. So it's a little less than 1 inch. Okay. Doesn't look very even for some reason. But that's okay, because we're not even going to see it. Right? So, hi Penny. Okay, so now I'm going to cut that. Put this aside for a second. Okay. So then I'm going to cut that there. And there. Okay, so see, then that is going to fit in like that. So we're going to put our adhesive on the bottom. Okay, and we'll just line those 2 lines up, the edge and the crease. Okay. I think it's fun that you can make such cool dimensional cards and really not need a lot of expensive supplies. You can just have pretty paper and make something pretty. Okay, so that's that piece, and I'll just park it in there like this. Okay. You following me along so far? Yeah, good. Next, okay, and I'm going to put that here. So this piece is 7.5 inches, or, well, no, 6.5 inches, sorry, by Okay, so that's that. Now we need to go to the sides, and we're going to make them, and that's, oh, let's put this too. We don't need these. X out that. No, and no. We don't need that, and we don't need that. So this piece here is just 6.5 by 7. Scored at 1 on the 7-inch side. Okay, so then we're going to need this piece. So this piece, it has to be at least half of the size of the card. So that's 6.5 inches. Okay, and let me just double check that. Yep, 6.5 inches. So that's 3 and 3/4. Is that right? No, 3 1/4. That's what it is. So it needs to at least be 3 1/4 inches wide 4¼ inch. So you could do it like the side of a card, that it's 4¼ inches on each side. Hey Kathy, how you doing? Yeah, right. Me and my math. Okay. But I want to make it bigger than that because I do want it to overlap a bit more. So I'm gonna shoot for let's see. Sorry, I'm thinking. Let's see here. So we need 2 pieces of paper. Another way you could have done it, we could have done it, is make this the big side and then have these be smaller. But then I kind of want these to be the same on the bottom. That said, I'm sorry, let me think here. I'm going to do, let's do 5½. Well, you know what would also be nice is if, no, I can't do it that way. Okay. So we're going to have to cut 2 sections anyway and have them overlap. Okay. So to do that, we're going to cut one piece that's this wide. It's the whatever the width is plus 1 inch. And then another piece that's that wide. And then each of them, let's see here. You're funny today, Carol. Okay, so let me see here. So this doesn't have to be as far as this. See how these are out a little bit more? So I need these to be a little bit longer than this, right? This section here. Okay. So let's see here. That section is 6. So we're going to make those 7. Okay. And then we're going to use, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go by 5½ as the width and try and work within that, because 5½ is half of this, and then we could use 1 per side. Does that make sense? So I'm going to go 5½ inches. Then, let's see here. Oh, I wanted this to be easy. It's not so easy. My brain is not working right. Sorry, just a minute. I'm not happy with that because I totally forgot. I want this to be the same height. So that's, let me see how high it is. That is 9½ inches right there. So I want this to be 9½ inches. So we're going to cut off 1.5 inches. Start again. So I'm going to write that here. It's going to be 9½ inches long by, and then you put the width first. So the width is going to be we're going to do 7 inches and score it at 1 inch. Okay. We could do the whole piece, but and my thing isn't big enough. Great. Okay. Let me see if I can find my cutting. Oh, there it is. Okay, getting up to get the cutting tool. Okay. So see, this is a lot better, I think you'll agree, than when we started out that other card. It stays together nicer. And then it is going to stay up once we get the rest of it put together, it'll stay standing. We're going over the card we made last time. We've been making, but I'm doing it a little different because I want to put this rocket ship in it. And so it was supposed to be an easier version, but I feel like it's turning into a harder version. But I mean, part of that is what we're doing, right? So it's a kind of a taller, bigger version of this to be able to put a rocket ship and a whole lunar landscape in. I'll just be right back. I gotta go get my bigger. Oh. Look what I found. Found my magnets while I was over there. I don't know why I would lose that, right? Oh, man. Okay. So, this is 6.5. So if I make this 7.5, which I can do, if I make it 7.5 and then score it at 1 inch, and so then we've got one side. Then we'll do that again. That will have it be, what is it, 7.5 by 9? 9.5. So 9.5 by 7.5. Score it at 1 inch. I want you to be able to look at this back, and if you have something you're trying to make use to it for a picture, you can size your card or your box or whatever to fit that, you know? That's what my goal is here today. Okay, so now that's the same size. Okay, good. So we have these two pieces that we're going to attach to the card, but then we're not going to do that first. First, we're going to do the bottom parts. Okay, so the bottom parts are going to be 6 inches at least. Where's my other card? So with this card, they are, you know, I just want to find the perfect ruler. 6.5 inches. So then there's 6.5 inches there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4.5, 4.5 inches. So these sides are 2 inches taller than this one. Okay. But the question is, and we want to be able to put it like this, you know, so that's why we're going to do that. Okay. So what did I say? 2 inches taller. So this is 6 inches. So this is going to be 8 inches by, or wait, not 8 inches. That's 7.5 right there. Okay, so we did that, and then this is going to be 6.5 wide. Excuse me for that. By 8 inches, because it's going to be 2 inches longer than this section here, which is 6 inches. Okay, So we're going to need 2 pieces that are cut. Oh, I'm so sorry. Then we're going to put an extra inch on because we need to be able to overlap these there. So we're going to make this 9 inches actually. And you could opt for less or more. If it probably doesn't even matter because I'm going to cover it up anyway when I cover the back. But yeah, just so that you have the right enough that it holds it really well. So we need 2 more pieces of paper. This is not for the faint of heart if you don't want to use paper. This is a way to use up your paper if you want to use your paper. But the other thing is we could make them really teeny weeny that you just use 1 piece of paper. Let me know if that's something you would like to see, if I just make this same shape card with 1 piece of paper. And the other thing that's cool is you could do it that you make it into a little storybook. So let me know if that's something you're interested in as well. So that said, we need 2 pieces that are 6.5 by 9. Six and a half. The half is like right in the middle right there. It's weird, but it'll be fine. And then we're going to score, let's see, so 6.5 is the, let me make sure I'm doing this right here, checking it out. So 6.5 is the width, and then we wanted it to be 8 inches, and we made it 9. So then we're going to score it at 1 inch. And that's just to be able to overlap the 2 of them, okay? So we'll do that once more. 9, and we'll score at 8. And then we'll cut it at 6.5 again. So I got those 2 pieces done. So now let us attach all this together. So I'm going to crease real well first. I tell you what I'll do is between now and next time, I'll figure out all the measurements for the 1 sheet of paper and get it all cut out and everything. And then on Thursday we can we can double decorate. I'll decorate the 2 of them, you know. So I just notched it a little bit so that I could attach it to the bottom here. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Thank you. I appreciate that, Liquida. Okay, so now I got to figure out which way. So this is going to go over here, and this one's going to go over here, like this, right? And then, so that's that, and that's that. Okay, got it. So I'm going to do some notches here as well. You always do notches if you can, because it just makes it sit nicer if it doesn't have that piece of paper butting right up next to it. Okay, so we are going, let's see, let's do, you know what, I'm going to put the bottom on first, simply because I want to make sure that it's secure and I can fold it flat when it's like this. Sorry, my glue is not working right now. Okay, so we're going to cover the space with glue. You know the spiel. Okay. So we want to put it like, it's going to be like that. I want to imagine it like that. And then I'm just going to pop this, excuse me, pop this on top right here. Like so. Push it all the way down to the bottom so the bottom meets up with it. That would be fun. I have some paper that I was going to build some kits from, and I just have to get to that place where I can do that, but I will share that with you soon. It's beautiful paper, just beautiful. Okay, so there's that piece, like that, and we'll cover this up with a thing so it won't matter. Then we can attach it to the inside here. So I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to put adhesive in here. And I'm saying, okay, so if you guys are doing any homeschooling or whatever, and you need ideas, this is math, and this is art, and we're making a rocket ship scene, so it could be considered science if you add some pieces in that kind of sciencey pieces, as it were. No, is it a little higher? I guess it's a little higher. Not that I think I mind necessarily, but it's weird. I don't know why it's higher. Okay, so let me see here. Did I not? No, that's the right way. That's funny. That's okay. It's kind of nice, actually. It's a little bit higher on the sides, but it's kind of cool. It adds a little bit of extra dimension to it. Okay, so we did that side. So see how this now folds up like this? And we've got to push that down with the bone folder and attach it fully. That's one thing, it wasn't attached. Okay. So there we've got that side done. Okay, and see how it stands up now? Yay. And then let's get the other side prepared. Now it's going to go on like this, so I'm going to put it, I want it to be the same, so I'm going to adhere it down like that. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate it. Okay, let's see here. Oh, you guys are... Oh, you guys are funny. Oh, you're making me... I needed a little caffeine to be able to deal with it all. I just am tired, that's all. Anyway, at least I appreciate you being tolerant with me while I'm recovering and maybe not 100%. I'd rather be creating though, and doing that sometimes to be able to have a balance, you know. Can't all be about recovery, right? And it can't all be about me. That's the thing with recovery, is it gets to this point where you feel like it's all about you, and it's not healthy, I think, for sometimes. I don't like that feeling. I'm kind of done with having to ask people to do things with me or for me. That's sad. I just feel like so bad. But after this, I'm going to do my exercises again for the second time today and keep working towards full mobility, you know. I think if I can walk normally again, if I can well, you know, it feels like there's like some strap around your leg that's just like so tight you can't undo it. You know, that's kind of how it feels. It's very disconcerting. Okay, so here's our picture, our diorama space. Same kind of deal. And then the other thing you can do, there's 3 kinds of ways you can seal it. You can, one, do a, see how it's a little taller? That's okay. It's kind of fun, actually. So one, you could create a lid, and that's what I think we might do, is we might create a lid to go over the top of it. You could do a belly band. If you put a lid over it, you can put something in there for a present. Oh, thank you. Oh, well, I appreciate that so much. So yeah, so a lid would be nice. So the lid, being that we know it's 1 inch by 6.5 inches, right? So what I could do, I probably could just use this piece of paper. Let me look. Let me see if this is the same size. I'm just looking to see the width here. Yeah, that works. Maybe this one. No, let's do this one right here. And so what I'm gonna do, I think this will work. We're just gonna score it to make the lid, and we're gonna do this real simply. And let's see here, it's 5.5 inches. And we want it to be 1 inch from the center. So the center for 5.5 inches is 2 3/4 inches, which is right about here, right? So I'm going to go 1/2 inch, so to 2 1/4 inches, and draw a score line. I'm going to go for exactly the same size and see if it works. You could also go one more over to make it a little bigger, but sometimes it just doesn't work out. So anyway, so I'm going to go 1/2 inch that way, and then, or did I say 1/2 inch? Yes, 1/2 inch. And 1/2 inch the other way to 3 1/4 inches. Okay. Then it's 6.5 inches. And so we have a piece of paper right here that is 6. Wait a minute. So, no, it's not. I think it's 8.5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.5. So this is 8.5 inches, which is perfect, right? So then we're just going to score at 1 inch on either end. Okay. Then we want to make this into a box. And what we're going to do is we're going to just cut and notch the ends. We're going to use these larger sides, because when we butt those up together, it'll create a real deep lid, which will be a good thing for holding it all together and everything in place. Okay. And when I've done this, I'm going to write it out on the paper for you so you see that. assuming it works. Okay, so now we're gonna, it's funny because I'm sitting a little further away from the chair just to be comfortable, or the table, so it's a little weird. That's why I always end up going off screen. Okay. And we've got this here. Right. I mean, like, I think that you got to think about things and how you can make them be part of the everyday fun things and make them how to be. Yeah, I can do I was working on one, but I just didn't get it done. When I was homeschooling, it's like, that's what it is. It's like everybody worries about the textbooks and going by the plan and all of this stuff. And it's like, really, you don't need all that for the kids to learn and to become interested in what it is that's going to be their great passion in life, you know? Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bunch of adhesive on one of these big sides, because that's what it's all about. So I did with my kids. Now, I have to say, it's not 100%. It's 50-50. My son is still figuring out what his joy in life will be. And you know what? But then again, it's always a search, right? You don't find it immediately and you don't find it forever. Let me just do this real quick off camera. So I just put the glue on again. And we did that, and we're going to do that. Now, the next thing we want to do is we want to take those inside pieces and put some glue on them and glue them down so that they're not in the way when you're trying to open and close it, you know, or remove it, I guess would be the way to say that. Now, if it does keep catching on it, what you can do is just cut a piece that's this size and glue it on the inside, right? And that should be fine. Okay, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. And then okay, so then there's that right there. So we have our little box top, and let's see if it fits. The moment of truth, right? There we go. It's a little tight. Just a little bit tight. Oh, there we go. Okay, so it's a little tight. It squishes it a little bit, but I actually would rather have it a little tight than not tight enough, right? So now you created from a piece, some paper, some inexpensive white cardstock. We have created a box that will become a card that will hold a really cute gift. You could put a t-shirt in here, anything, you know? So, let's see here. So then it opens up like this. Isn't that fun? I think it's fun. And we can trim it and we can do all kinds of things with it. So with that said, I'm gonna leave you for today. As I said, I'm trying to keep it down to an hour so my leg doesn't puff up too much. And then next time we will decorate this, and I'm gonna go right now and sit and put my legs up in my recliner and work on the dimensions for a one-piece wonder. I'm going to try it with a 12 by 12 piece is what I think I'm going to do. Let's see here. Yeah, you just have to do this and that. And it does catch a little bit on that lip, so I might put that other thing in. But yeah, so there's our card base. I thought it said traffic. I'm like, Carol, are you driving? Oh, I was going to try. Oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot to do that. Okay, so the lid. The way you would do the lid is you would have this piece be 2 inches larger. If you want a 2-inch, this is a 1-inch overhang, right? So you're going to do the width of the card by or plus 2 inches, the width of the card plus 2 inches, and then the width, I mean that, the height of the card, and then the height of the card, height of the box, that's what it is, plus 2 inches, right? And then score at 1 inch all around. This is the way my brain works. There you go. Okay. And yeah, I can do this into a PDF. It just will take a little time. I just wanted you to see kind of how you can figure it out on your own. If you were trying to figure out something that's a specific size, like as I said, I want to do that rocket ship in the middle of this. Maybe not in the middle, maybe on the side. I don't know yet. But yeah. So that's what we have for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all your kind words, your patience, everything, all of it. Exactly. This is incredibly, I believe this would be something that's incredibly versatile because it could be a gift box, a card, and you could do several of them. You could actually make it wider and attach them together. Like, let me show you real quick. I know I was about to say goodbye, but light bulb moment, as Carol said. But you could do something where you make one, and you could do several of them and attach them to each other like this, and like have it be like a big circle thing. A PDF is something you can download, just a printout. It's basically a printout. I think that a ditto copy, back in the day, it would have been a ditto, right? Okay, well, thanks so much for joining me today, everybody. I really appreciate it. Have a good couple days. I'll see you on Thursday at 1:30 again. So goodbye, Hadassah. Goodbye, Kathy. Goodbye, Carol. Goodbye, Laquita. Goodbye. Let's see, who else do we have here today? Anybody else who's too shy to say hello? And did I say Hadassah? I hope I did. And let me see, is everybody else? Yep, that's everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope to see you on Thursday at 1:30. And we'll play some more with this fun little card base that we made, okay? Have a great week, or have a great couple days. Bye.